What's going on, guys? We are talking all about the wedding day timeline today, why it's important, why it might be your best friend on the wedding day, and how to get it onto your Apple Watch. So without further ado, let's roll that intro and jump right in. All right, so we're talking all about the wedding day timeline today. This is a very important topic. This timeline might be your best friend leading up to the wedding day. This means that you're gonna know everything to do, everything that's gonna be happening at what point in the day. Raise your hand if you've ever felt like you had no idea what was supposed to happen. Your bride and groom were stressed. You felt like you were running behind. You felt like you didn't have enough time. You just had trouble with the timeline. You didn't know what was supposed to be happening. Something was wrong. Have you ever been there? Because we definitely have. So I'm gonna walk you through my timelines. We kind of follow the same formula, the same structure for every single wedding. We've just learned, how much time we need to allot to a first look in portraits or to bridal party or to family photos. The ceremony and the reception, they kind of run on their own schedule, their own timeline. So I'm gonna walk you through a typical timeline here. Let me pull up this timeline. So this is an 8-hour timeline, very typical. Most of our weddings actually tend to be about 9 to 10 hours of coverage, but if you can fit all of this into an 8-hour window, you can definitely fit it all into a 10-hour window. So we like to show up roughly 45 minutes before the bride gets in her dress on an 8-hour wedding day. Show up 45 minutes before. That gives us time to shoot all of the wedding details, the shoes, dress, rings, jewelry, perfume, shoes, all that stuff. We shoot all that. We photograph the girls hanging out, guys hanging out, guy getting into his tux, and just some makeup and last minute finishing touches taking place. We shoot that at that 45-minute mark. So right now, 1:30, we show up till about 2:05. At 2:05, I tell the girls, hey, it's time to get into your dresses. The girls need to get into their dresses. I label this within the timeline so that I know, as a reminder, I earmark it. Hey, they should be getting in their dresses right now. If they're not, we're gonna be running behind. I allot 15 minutes for that. So from 2:05 to 2:20, they're getting in the dresses. At 2:20, I have the bride getting her dress, and Steph and I are in that room getting two different angles of her getting in the dress. Sometimes one of us focuses on the mother or the maid of honor, helping her zip the back of the dress up or button the back of the dress, and the other focuses on the bride and her reactions and kind of coaches her on what to do. So we allot typically 20-ish minutes for getting in the dress, sometimes longer if we know it's gonna be like a lace-up back, but typically a zip-up or button-up will only take 5-10 minutes to do. So we allot 20 minutes just to add some buffer time in there. After that, we go into our first look, and the first look in portraits we schedule for 45 minutes. That we have 45 minutes of time with them. We schedule that full 45 minutes for that. So from 2:45 to about 3:30, we do first look in portraits. The first look takes anywhere from a minute to 5 minutes. Sometimes they chat for a while. Sometimes they just are like, all right, let's go. Let's do some pictures. Let's get the show on the road. So we schedule about 45 minutes for the first look and the portraits. After that, we go right into bridal party, full bridal party. It's from 3:30 to 4 o'clock. 30 minutes is all we need. We do 1 or 2 poses with the full group. Then we do 1 or 2 poses with the bridesmaids, 1 or 2 poses with the groomsmen. Of course, we make sure we get individual shots of the bride and each of her bridesmaids, and then the groom and each of his groomsmen. So that takes about 30-ish minutes to do. After that, at 4 o'clock, after bridal party is finished, we stop all photos 30 minutes prior to the ceremony. So the ceremony was set for 4:30. We stop all photos at 4 o'clock. This gives them time to, relax, do some, makeup finishing touches, reapply some lipstick, use the bathroom, get a drink, and just kind of chill out before they actually go to get married. This also allows us to prep for the ceremony, capture the ceremony details, flowers, details on chairs, signage, anything like that. This gives us time to do that. Most of the ceremonies that we photograph run about 30 minutes in length. So from 4:30 to 5, we shoot this ceremony, and we're at the mercy of that. If it starts late, we're gonna be behind for family photos. If it starts early, then awesome. We're on time, even better. Like, we'll be right on track. And hopefully the officiant is not long-winded and doesn't talk for over the 30-minute mark. At the 30-minute mark, at 5 o'clock, cocktail hour begins. It's also at 5 o'clock to 5:20 to 5:30 roughly 20 to 30 minutes is family photos. We encourage all of our couples to kind of max out at 10 combinations. Anything longer than 10 becomes almost impossible. You have cousins and grandmas and aunts trying to get to cocktail hour to get a drink, to get some hors d'oeuvres, and it's just really difficult to wrangle everybody in. So we say, hey, pick 10 combinations, the 10 most important combinations to you, and stick to that. That's what you guys should do. So that takes only about 20 to 30 minutes. We don't schedule much more time than that. After that, if it's sunset, we will try and get them away for a little bit for 5 to 10 minutes of sunset portraits. A lot of the time that doesn't happen, and we go straight into cocktail hour, shooting the details of their reception space before the people kind of rush in there and put their purses down and coats down on all the chairs and ruin the entire space. So we try and get into the reception room, shoot all the flowers, all the table decor, and the cake and that sort of thing while cocktail hour is happening. This also allows us to prep for the entrances and the first dances. We set up the flashes, we set up all of that stuff within this 20 to 30 minute time frame during cocktail hour. So typically that's from like 5:30 to 6 if the reception starts at 6 o'clock. So from 6 o'clock on, we're just kind of hanging out, shooting the day. It's really just go with the flow, talking with the DJ, making sure we're on the same page. And that's really the day. We'd be out, if we started at 1:30, we'd be done at 9:30. That's an 8-hour day. So guys, that's really about it as far as the timeline goes. Now, the way I get it on the Apple Watch, the nice thing about the Apple Watch is that it connects straight to the calendar on your iPhone. So what we do is we will go into the calendar on the phone and literally input the entire timeline segment by segment into the day of the wedding. So if it was December 7th and we're shooting a wedding that day, we'll hop on there from 1:30 to 2:05. We'll do getting ready details from 2:05 to 2:20. Bridesmaids getting dresses, 2:20. Bride gets in her dress, 2:45 to 3:30. First look and portraits, 3:30. Bridal party, and so on. You get the deal. And so what this actually does is it syncs right to the Apple Watch, and you will actually, you can set alerts. So if you want an alert 5 minutes before an event's supposed to happen, you can set that up so your watch will ding or your phone will ding when a new event is happening. So that's been really helpful for us. We've seen other people use Evernote and photos and all these other things. I'm like, that's completely impractical. Just plug it right into your calendar. It's super easy. It'll take you 5 minutes, and you do it the night before. It allows you to review the day of before the actual day gets here. So you can kind of keep an eye on what's supposed to happen and just kind of refamiliarize yourself with the wedding day. So that's the timeline, guys. What questions do you have for me? If you have any, please leave them in the comments below. Maybe what does your timeline look like? What is your biggest pain point when it comes to wedding days and running behind? Please, I would love to answer your questions and help you out along the way. Everybody's journey is a little bit different, and we've kind of figured out how things work for us, and I'm sure you guys are figuring out how things work for you. So please leave questions in the comments. I'd love to help you guys out. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button, maybe share with a photographer friend that you know that would find this information valuable, and I will see you guys next week.